Hello, welcome to Reviews You Can Use. Today's movie review is on The Boys in the Boat. Now, for those of you that have read the book, I will also be talking about that as well. Now, before we get into this underdog story, make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons. It'll help support the channel and algorithm, getting more people to see my work. While you're at it, make sure to hit that notify so you never miss a Reviews You Can Use upload. Finally, you can follow my socials. I'm trying to grow the platform past just YouTube. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, X, and Etsy, where I sell channel merch, so please consider buying something if you are a fan. All of which will be linked down in the description below. If you want, give me a follow. If not, that is totally fine. Or if you want an easier way to get to my socials, you can go to my channel, go to the About section, and all the links are right there. Again, if you want, give me a follow. If not, that is totally fine. Now, let's get into this. In this review, I will discuss how I got into this story, Joe Rantz's backstory, reviewing the movie, and George Clooney's directing style. Now, let's get into it. I got into the story in 7th grade. We read this book and I absolutely loved it. Daniel James Brown, the author of the book, spoke about how he wrote this masterpiece. He actually met Joe Rantz, one of the rowers, because Joe read one of his books and he asked if he could meet him. It's very cool that Daniel James Brown knew Joe Rantz and actually got to meet him just before he passed away at the age of 93. Daniel James Brown originally asked Joe if he could write his story. Joe said no. He said you can do that, but tell the whole story of all the boys in the boat and the people involved in it. After 9 years of working, Daniel James Brown released the book on June 4th, 2013. The book became an instant hit. So now you know the story of the book, and the story came to be. Now, let's get into reviewing the movie. This film is about a group of underdogs who decide to try out for the crew team to try to get to the 1936 Olympics in Berlin. And yes, many of you know the Jesse Owens story. The boys actually talk to him in the film, which is kind of cool that they make reference to that. Crew or rowing is considered the most physically demanding of all sports. The movie is from the perspective of Joe Rantz, who is one of the rowers and is in the second seat of the Husky Clipper. Now, if you read the book, you know why it is focused on him. Let's talk about Joe's backstory a little bit. They mention it in the movie, but it is not really explained well. If you read the book, then you know what I'm going to talk about, and that is Joe Rantz being left to live on his own. Yes, you heard that right. Joe Rantz was left to fend on his own at the age of 14 by his parents Harry Rantz Sr. and his stepmother Thula, who actually is the one who suggested it. That is messed up, especially when Judy says that Joe could hear his little brothers, Mike and Harry Jr., screaming about, "What about Joe? What about Joe?" And imagine that. You have to live with that, like, for the rest of their life. He did actually reconcile with his father later on in life when he married Joyce Simdars, the one he likes in the movie. They actually did reconcile. So if you guys were wondering, yes, they did reconcile. I also love how during the story, plus film, you could see how Joe and the rest of the boys are like brothers in the boat. This movie does a good job of showing us what life was like during the Great Depression. The young men of this crew team demonstrated the true meaning of grit, especially Don Hume, who was sick with a fever, but carried on in the race for the gold medal. He raced with that fever, and there's even the clip where Bobby Mock actually helps him keep up with the pattern of the boat, and then Don Hume rowed his hardest. And Al Ulbrichtson, the coach, and many of the people in the boat respected him for that, which is awesome. Each one of the boys was faced with adversity, yet these 9 nobodies showed the world, even Hitler, what it truly means to put your own troubles aside and work together as a team, in a time when most people were losing hope. I was a bit concerned when George Clooney was chosen as director for this project. I also know him as an actor. He's also a great director. But I was a little bit concerned when they chose him. But he proved me wrong when I saw this incredible story put on the big screen. The writing, the sets, the music, and the sets. Again, I want to say the sets twice because they actually look like they're in the 30s. I know it's like this colorful style related to the Fabelmans, but I like that new style. So I give The Boys in the Boat a 10 out of 10. That is all for today on Reviews You Can Use. If you haven't seen this film or read the book, please do. Please give this video a like and share this with your friends and family. See you next time on Reviews You Can Use. Ciao amigos and hasta luego. See you in the next video. Bye guys.